Hello, everyone. I am the packing preacher. Hey, I wanted to start out my first video as for pertaining to this particular channel. So I wanted to introduce my EDC, Everyday Carry Pistol. And so I want to talk about these three. I have three in my rotation, and sometimes they do change. But along this channel, I will be giving a overview of all of the uh, weapons. I would just say that way. So I will be talking about pistols, shotguns, and my ARs. Okay. I almost said amen. I guess I can say amen. I am the packing preacher. Listen. So as far as it pertains to my EDC, so my everyday carry, I have a rotation of three guns. I'll start with the most recent, the one that I'm actually carrying, and then I will transition to the one that's kind of the last. And so we'll get to talking about those. Sound good? All right, let's get into it. All right. So the first gun that I will be bringing to the table, and again, this is for on YouTube, so we always let YouTube know that weapons are clear. There's nothing in the chambers, nothing, no ammo near, and in both magazines, all my guns, I will show them that they are all clear. All right, so starting off with the first gun that I have, this is going to be the Hellcat Pro. This is from Springfield Armory. Again, this is a Hellcat Pro. Let me make sure I emphasize this is the Hellcat Pro comp. All right, it's got a comp here, comp in the slide, and also a cut within the barrel. So we're going to talk about this particular pistol. This is a very great overall pistol. And so please forgive me. I'm going to be looking down, kind of looking at it. So again, this is going to be a quick overview of the Hellcat Pro comp. Okay. And when we look at this, as far as other people, who is using this particular pistol. So for everyday carry, home defense, and of course for range use. Now, um, it I have down here home defense. I personally have this set aside. I will talk about my home defense pistol, which is not one of my EDCs. I have a whole different gun as it pertains to my home defense that sits on my nightstand. This particular pistol is put to the side. I grab this when I'm getting ready to walk out the door. But if you probably hear a lot of the term thump in the night. If I hear a thump in the night, I grab another pistol. So as we pertaining to this particular pistol, who makes the comp version, or rather, what makes the comp version different from the standard Hellcat Pro difference? Again, this particular pistol is comparable to the Glock 43X, which they indicate can be quite snappy. And so when they created this particular pistol, they felt like, they wanted to have something that could be comparable to the 43X. And when they made the Hellcat Pro, it did not have the compensator on it. And so this gun was snappy. And so they made the comp version to reduce that. Now, I have a negative on my end. It has nothing to do with the gun. I have not shot the Hellcat Pro to see the difference between the Hellcat Pro and the Hellcat Pro comp. So I do not know if the comp makes it less snappy than the Pro. Now, my first impression, overall fit and finish between the magazines, letting you know within the box, you're going to get a little pouch that the gun's going to come in. This is the optic op cover. This goes over the pistol. If I didn't have a optic on it, you'll put this optic cover on the top of the gun. And so this comes in this nice little package from Springfield Armory. You see that, Springfield Armory. And it comes in here, and it comes with two different magazines. You have an extended and you have a flush. The flush is going to be 15 rounds, And then the the extended is going to be 17 rounds. So that means this is 15 plus one. So that means 16 bullets that you got. And then this is 17 plus one, 18. And so I do carry a extended in a side magazine holder when I'm carrying this. And I carry this with the flush magazine. But already by itself, 15 plus 1, 16, listen, is great. I love it all. The ergonomic and the grip texture allows me, even me being, I am 6'5", 250 pounds, so I got big hands. So this allows me to get a good grip on the pistol. So it feels real good in the hand. Overall, I love the gun. Love a gun. Very, very short. Now, as far as it comes to the type of holster, listen, this is a Amazon holster that came with a claw combo. As you can hear, that look, it's not a very distinct click, but I'm shaking this and the gun is not coming out. And I did change out the belt clip. I added metal, and actually on all of my holsters, I added the metal. I took off the little plastic one. Do not like them, so I did replace those. And so I do have this just a little cheap. And then on the back of it, I did put in, and I am sorry that I did not look up this and add this, but to determine the name of it. But this helps from this, because I now carry appendix. Okay, meaning the gun sits in front of my junk. Okay, I at first did not carry this way, and the reason for that is that this gun would dig into my crotch, and I did not like that feeling. But I began to grab these to put these on all of my guns. Every last one of them. I'll get to talking about all the rest of them. I added this. I'll have to figure out later what this is called, but I added them to all of my holsters. This gives a comfort. But it does a couple different things. Besides, if you're like here, when you got this sitting in, this is digging inside you. What this does is presses this away, and so this is comfort. And now I carry a appendix. Before, I was always carrying at 4 o'clock. Had my gun back here. But based on several trainings and just overall having an appendix, if I'm sitting in the car, I don't want to be trying to reach back here to try to grab my gun. I can just lift up my shirt and access my weapon if I need it to. So as we moving on, the weight and the balance, even with this having a full magazine, this gun is still light. Very, very, very light. And of course, this does come optic ready slide design. And on the OSP model, right now, I do have the O-Sight SE. And I actually just put the OSE on another pistol. And I'll talk about that other pistol. That's my third pistol. And then my second pistol has a Holosun on it. And so we'll talk about that one. But on this one, it's the new, this is really for real. This particular one has been carried by a lot of people right now. And again, this is the O-Sight SE. This is a red dot. I do have the O-Sight green dot on my third pistol, and we'll talk about this. Very light enclosed, meaning there is a lens on the back and the front. And what this does is it's reducing any type of substance, any type of fabric object getting inside of the optic, which does not. I am new. I'm an old school boy. I'm always been an iron boy. Always been an iron boy, and so I'm good. Even if something got in it, I wouldn't care. But if you're, not being able to see through it because of the dot or because of the iron sight, you can't see through it. So you'd be hoping that I'm pointing and hoping I can hit whoever I'm hitting. But overall, great gun. And so we look at key features: integrated compensator built in the slide. And of course, we talked about the 15 round flush magazine capacity. This is what it is. It's the 15, but this is for the flush. We wanted the extended. And again, this gives you another nice grip onto the pistol. I still got lots of room with the flush. With the extended, I got a lot of room still left. to give me a good hold onto the pistol. Of course, it does have an accessory rail for lights and lasers. The tritium sights for the front sight, it does have a tritium on it here. And of course, you just have your U-notch rear sight. It gives you great acquisition. I promise you, I've not had any problems with this gun. Now, the performance of the range, the recoil management compared to the Hellcat Pro, again, I can't give you that. The muzzle rise reduced from the compensator. I will say, from my shooting this, I probably shot. And I shot a lot like a lot of people. You know, people always say, "Oh, I'll shoot about 500 rounds." I will say I probably shot about 200 rounds through this gun. No malfunctions, but the rise of it, I had this sighted in very well. The muzzle flip, very minimal. So again, I would have to shoot the Hellcat Pro to determine if the compensator, the comp version of this pistol is better. Now, accuracy at 7, 15 to 25 yards. I'm accurate at all three. So again, 7, 15 to 25. Those are kind of your range positions that you want to be at. When you go to the range, you want to shoot at 7 yards, you want to shoot at 15 yards, you want to shoot at 25 yards. And I have great grouping at all three levels. Follow-up shot speed, excellent. Red dot helps with that. Again, I'm getting into the red dots. Before, I did not have. So my old EDC that I originally started out with was my Springfield XD duty model. I was previously a armed security guard, and so that was the weapon I carried. Even as a big man, I carried a big gun. It started out as a 45. I had all 45. All these guns I'm going to be talking about are 9. I am just now getting into 9mm, probably within the last 5 years. Before, 45 or 40. I got 140, which is my Glock 23. That was the only 40 cal pistol that I had. And so I have a I had my Springfield XD that I've been having since I was 21 when I started armed security. I'm now 42 years old. So I've been having that gun a very, very long time. And again, you'll see that video and further. So look out for that video coming. Again, that is my Springfield XD 45 duty model. That's the pistol that I carry. So back to this particular pistol. Again, this is the Hellcat Pro Comp. This does have a O-Sight SE red dot mounted. This does come with 2 magazines. You have a flush 15, which gives you 15 plus 1. And then you also have an extended. This is 17 plus 1. That gives you 18 plus 1. Concealed carry consideration. This is comfortable when carrying inside the waistband. Printing concerns. I have no printing concerns at all. Now, the only concern I do have as it pertains to me is I got a little gut. And so it does show a little. But I wear a little baggy clothes to help prevent that. Holster compatibility. There's a lot of holsters out there for this particular pistol. And I don't carry a mounted light on none of my pistols. I do have a external flashlight that I hold. And people talk about, why wouldn't you carry a weapon light on it? And I'm going to start getting into that. My nightstand pistol, which is, I'll say now, is my Glock 21 SF. It is a slim model. It does have a light on it, and that's only because, again, it's supposed to be for if someone were to bust in my house at night, I'll be able to see them. I'm looking at this gun as if I got it. I'm doing the day. I am not a big out nighttime person. But if I feel like I had to, what I don't want to do, and I need to look at, if I need to look for something, I don't want to be pulling out a gun. I'm a black man in America in 2026. I don't want to be pulling out a gun with a light on it to be looking for things. So that's why I have an external. Now, if I had to pull out my gun in a threat, this is where my red dot comes into place. I don't need a flashlight to see that. I'm not trying to blind the person. I do believe that we still understanding, in this world we live in. Hey, if I hear gunshots, we as black people, we run, not towards it, but from it. All right. So let's go ahead and move on. So pros, excellent capacity for size. Again, 15 plus 1 or 17-1. A noticeable flat shooting pistol, reliable performance. Springfield. This, I have a great friend of mine who reached out to me to ask me if I wanted. He know I'm a big Springfield boy. Love Springfields. I got a multitude of Springfields. And so again, all those videos are coming. Again, optic ready from the factory. You don't have a lot of pistols out there that are coming optic, but truthfully, for real, because we're getting into this red dot mentality for firearms, a lot of companies are starting to put even some of your lower end pistols. For instance, like Taurus. Taurus is still a great compatible company, but they have a lot of lower class model. You look like your Taurus G2Cs and your Taurus is three Cs, three GCs. G3C, excuse me, tongue tied there, are coming out with optic ready pistols. And listen, it's hard to beat. And now, a good balance between concealability and shootability. Some of the things that people look at as far as cons, they feel like there's an increased muzzle blast and noise from the compensator, so it does not make it very low as far as noise. Higher price than the standard model. Of course, it is a comp version. So it is going to be higher. That, to me, that's not really a con, but this is the talking point that I have on here. More carbon buildup around the comp, so your gun does get a little more dirty. Listen, y'all, I'm not big into worried about my gun getting dirty. Having slide wear. You're getting selling a pistol. I buy lots. I buy lots and lots of guns. And people talk about, like, are you going to be okay? Listen, I am fine with having wear. That means you used the gun. That means you were out the range. You were pulling it out from the holster. I'm fine with that. There's a lot of guns that I'll be showing you on this channel that are guns that you would probably not see other people have. But I am not that person. I will get any gun, buy any gun, as long as it's a pleasing to me. Again, this is just my view of things. This might not be something that you may like. That's totally fine. But again, I'm talking about my EDCs. Next, it's going to be, we're just looking at comparison. So a lot of times they compare this again to the standard Hellcat Pro. They're also comparing the comp to the Sig Sauer P365X Macro. And then they also, again, compare this to the Glock 43. And again, the Glock 43X with the MOS. So again, allowing this to have an optic. So you want to make sure that it's comparable to something else. And again, the Hellcat Standard Pro does come optic ready with OSP. And then, of course, the Sig Sauer P365 Macro X Macro does come with optic ready slide so that you can put a red dot on it. So the question is, which offers the best value and performance for concealed carry? That's the question you got to ask. So again, which you believe offers? For me, I'm not shot. Again, I'm not a Glock boy. Now let me tell you this before, okay? Glock has a pistol, excuse me, that I just don't like. The handle, just that full grip, the way that it's slanted, I don't like it. It never felt good. Yes, I do have my Glock 21. That's on my thing. I do have a Glock 30. That, after I gotten into some things, I end up buying the 21, and I end up buying an AR. I've long gone sold that AR, got another one. But when I went to this gun store, or rather this pawn shop, I bought the 21 and I bought the AR. I liked the 21 so well that I wanted something smaller. So I went to another gun store, and this time I went to a gun store instead of a pawn shop, and I bought the Glock 30 SF. So I had the 21 SF, and then I had the Glock 30 SF. That was my original EDC until I just got away from the 45 when I started buying nines. But let's go ahead and try to move on. But I want to talk real quick about the overalls of the Hellcat. Sorry. So number one, caliber 9mm. Okay. And for me, we're not going to talk about ammo. Like I said, we don't want to put no ammo around. But I will talk about the different ammo that I carry in all of my pistols. I do not carry the same thing on every one. So some of them are going to be Hornady, some are going to be Federal. I carry a multitude of different different ammo. The one thing I will say that I do tell people, and I understand ammo is high. Okay, buy at least one box, and we know most time ammo, carry ammo comes in only like 20. I tell people at least buy one box, but it's 20 that gets you through one mag, at least one mag. Shoot your carry ammo out your gun. Okay, please. So this is going to be a 3-part video on my EDC. I see this video's already gotten long, it's probably about 20 minutes now. But again, this is at our caliber is at 9mm. The color is black. We do have a 3.7 hammer forged steel finished. So from the rear to the front is 3.7. The slide is a machine ballistic ready, again optic ready. Frame is a black pommel with an adapt grip texture. The grip texture on the frame of this gun is phenomenal. Snipes, again, it is going to be your tritium front with just your U-notch rear recoil system. I want to show about breaking this pistol down. So again, we're going to pull this all the way back. Let me pull it from this side. Pull it all the way back. There is a little notch here. You're going to flip that notch. Sorry, couldn't do it from that end. Flip that notch up. As you can see, it's a little hard, but I flipped that up. So again, it was down. Flip it up. After that, what you'll do is then let the pistol go. And then what you do is then pull the trigger and the slide comes off. So now you have two pieces. And now you look at your barrel and spring. So the recoil system is a dual captive recoil spring with full length guide rod in it. Sorry, it looked like I was struggling there. We'll begin with a blue finished barrel. So again, dual. Dual is not a single full recoil system, so it's dual metal frame. Okay. So let's put this back together. Alrighty. Putting this back on to the pistol and pulling it. And then again, we want to flip this back down. All right. So what you'll do is make sure you got it all the way back and then you flip it down. Sounds good? And then you just release it. Next, the grip width is about 1 inch, very slim. Magazines, again, we talked about 115, 117. The overall weight is about 21 without, with the flush magazine, and it's 21.4 with the extended. And then the length, again, you're looking at about 6.6 total, 6.6 from here to here, 4.8 from here to here with the flush, 5.3 with the extended. We have an MSRP about $723. So if you look into the store right now, probably a lot of these are going to be on sale. I'm not going to tell you none of my prices of what I got for my guns. All righty. Other than that, you all, I am done. Again, this is my first. This is my one that I'm currently carrying. Again, this is the Springfield Hellcat Pro Comp version. Be standing by for part 2 of my second EDC in this rotation. Again, I am the Packing Preacher. Appreciate you for stopping by to listen. So go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Hey, and stand by for a multitude of other videos coming.